It's Aaron, your favorite unfiltered mess. Spitting takes so raw, they'll make your grandma stress. Is this, that, and the other? Life, politics, the whole damn scene. Whatever crosses my mind, or whatever I saw on my screen. Woo! Movies to munchies, games to the grind. Interviews flowing, this is starting to sound like a date, ain't it? Dinner, drink, sports, wait, you buying? If not, tough luck, my opinion still flying. No script, no filter, just pure chaos bliss. I might offend your auntie or your therapist. Society's clown show, yeah, I'm ringing the bell. If it's stupid, it's sacred, well, it had to be said, what the hell? Buckle up, buttercup, the mic's getting reckless. I had to say it. Now, pass the tissues for the trigger.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of I Had to Say It. We're going to start out as we do by to Iceman, Jason, Javier, Fitz, McShane, El Jefe, El Devlin, El Morte, to the guys from the Report, to Billy G, to Walt from the Beer Rob Podcast, to Kate the Duchess of New Jersey, to Boomer Bob, to George Fonts for the World Boys Podcast, to Josh from New Hampshire, to Ken Madden, and a special shout out to Lisa, our newest patron. Thank you guys for the continued support. It means the world to me, especially considering you guys put up with the fact that I decided to take a week off last week to get things situated, which led into a clusterfuck as the show started going. And I'm sure the acoustics are there's probably a little reverb. I probably sound a little off kilter, if you will. I will throw some pictures up once I'm having some issues with my computer since I've had to reset it up. I'll throw them up once I get the pictures taken, and once everything's actually presentable in here. We did, as you can tell by looking at the background, we decided to redo my office space here. My wonderful wife came in and painted the room so it's a lighter shade, so I don't need as much lighting to actually have the camera pick up my ugly mug. And once I get everything else back in place too. But the sound treatments are not back where they're supposed to be yet. I'm actually thinking about dyeing them because they're white. White shows dust and they got really dirty. You can hear me breathing. Okay, well, I'm a little winded from crawling around on the floor. I apologize. Yeah, there we go. That's going to get clipped. Lucky me. So anyway, yeah, thank you for the tolerance for my little very short YouTube exclusive episode last week explaining what was going on. As you can see, we did decide to redo the room a little bit. I think it looks really nice. My wife did a wonderful job painting it. I hanged those shelves back there. We both worked on the wood for the shelves. We did where you burn them with a blowtorch to get the coloring on the wood so it shows up nice. I think it turned out really cool. I've got more shit to put up there. As you can see, I got my little motorcycle collection. My hats are there for the moment. I don't think they're going to stay there, but that's neither here nor there. Assorted stuff in there. I have a bunch of other shit to put on the shelves. And if you would like to see some shit, you can send me to go on the shelves. I'm actually thinking about setting up a P.O. box now that I'm back to being a worker bee, and I'm going to need a mailing address for my Spice Line stuff, as well as I can use it for the podcast too. Why not? 2 birds, 1 stone. That'll be a good thing to get taken care of. So that's, I guess, the first standing business for anybody who's backing the project or interested in the project or waiting to see when Aaron's going to get off his ass and start selling some spices. As I stated last week, and as anybody that listens to the Road Rage 101 with Bruce knows, I am back to being a worker bee. I am up before the sun to go to work. I get home a little earlier in the day now, which is the reason for the time change. You see, I cannot continue to broadcast on Monday nights for these live stream recordings because I am in bed relatively early. So now I have to adjust, and I didn't want to go at the same time as the Boomer Bunker, so I had to change days so I could go at roughly the same time as the Boomer Bunker. Now, there's going to be a little wiggling around here as we get the changes in place. And the audio episode obviously will now be dropping on Wednesday, I believe, for anybody that misses the live stream. It depends on how late I go, I guess, because I'm still going to have to edit it, clean it up, get it uploaded, and be in bed at a reasonable hour so I can get up before the sun to go to work. I don't mean for it to sound like I just realized, I'm sorry. I believe I forgot Bill and Data from Clockham Craft Coffee when I was rattling off the names. It's been a very long day. It's been a very long week and a half at this point since I started the job. Not a lot of sleep. Brain's a little fuzzy. So, Bill, if I didn't say Bill, I apologize. Everybody buy some Clockham Craft Coffee. The stuff's absolutely phenomenal. Now that I'm back to being a worker bee, as soon as I get a paycheck, I'm going to be ordering some for the house here, so I can have good coffee in the mornings when I'm, groggily cursing the sun for rising as I'm driving towards it. So, that it was the first order of business, or first and a half, I guess, is to explain that where the time change is going to be coming in. We are going to be streaming around 5:30, 6 o'clock Central Time, probably closer to 6. Like as example today, I didn't get started till 6:20 because getting everything set back up. I was still not done yet as of when I got home from work today. So I've been running around since I got home from work trying to get everything ready. And so here we are. When I was plugging in one thing, I pulled out the plug going from the Rodecaster to the computer, which is why there was no audio to begin the episode. So the first 10 minutes or whatever when all the music was playing was purely silence for anybody watching the YouTube stream. So I guess I look like kind of a schmuck. By the way, yes. So again, and I did acknowledge that Lisa said she could hear me breathing, and Heavy Breathing with Aaron by Steve McShane of Razorwire News. Again, wonderful show. You guys should be doing there. You can go sign up on their brain fart Substack. Go sign up their Substack, and then you can be part of the live stream recording of their show, and then you can be in the after show, and then you can sit around with everybody else and make fun of me for falling asleep. Our buddy John Jamingo finally made one of the after show episodes this week, apparently, and I wasn't there to miss it because I was there. I was in the chat, but I was unconscious by the time we got to the after show, so I hate that I missed it. But I'm there with you guys in spirit, so phenomenal. Keep up the great work. Keep up the good show. I'm glad everybody's enjoyed. Everybody should be going and listening to that too. So, next order of business. There's a couple things I want to. I mean, these are things that actually have fuck all to do with me, but they're kind of important to me, so I want to mention them to you guys. I mentioned this last year, and this is nothing I'm affiliated with. They don't know I exist, but the Unsubscribed podcast is doing their annual Autism Awareness Month, where they have a line of merch on their website, bunkerbranding.com, where all the proceeds from everything they sell goes towards autism awareness research and treatments, and there's a bunch of different charities they donate to. Last year they raised something like $300,000. This year they're trying to get $500,000 for charities, and so if they got some funny shirts, some fun themed shirts, some shoes, stickers, merch, all related to autism, and you can buy it. It's a good cause. They're cool shirts. They're comfortable as shit. I'm wearing one right now. It says "My autism hates communism," and it's got a little tiny thing on the front and a huge illustration on the back. That when they brought it back as a shirt, I was so happy, so I could buy it. And yeah, so you should go check that out. Buy some support autism research and charities that work with kids with autism and help them be happy and have good social lives and stuff. So that's that. Next thing I want to mention is, for those of you guys, I'm sure I've brought it up in the past, the gentleman known as Robert Frank 615. Robert Chetty, good dude. He's got the Better Be Fucking Swole guy for anybody who's not sure who I'm talking about. Got his book back there signed behind me, The Life and Death of Robert Frank 615. Or The Death of Robert Frank 615 is his other book. It's more of like kind of an autobiography thing of, kind of touches on his internet celebrity stuff, and it just kind of gets to where he is. And let's see, Shauna says she can't see my shit. Yeah, my big head's in the way, but here, there, see my shit? Anyway, those books that are back there on the shelves, you can see those. All the books that are up there that are on little stands with the displays are all books that have been signed by the authors. I've got a couple more that need to go up there. Oh no, it doesn't say can't see your shit. It says can't see your shirt. I don't have my glasses on. So yes, you can't see my shirt because you can only see it from the neck up. See? Yeah, I hear you. See, shirt. Like I said, the picture's on the back. So anyway, what was I saying? Yeah. So Rob recently recorded an audiobook specifically detailing, like, there's a chapter on it in his biography, but it goes into a lot more detail dealing with ulcerative colitis and his battle with that, where he wound up in the hospital, lost all the weight, lost a huge section of his lower intestine, and it's actually kind of a really interesting background thing on there. And I'm not saying you should have to check it out, but if you know anybody that's dealing with stuff like that, anybody that might need a little support because they're sitting there with a colostomy bag or a J pouch or any of that other stuff, it's interesting. It's his perspective on it. It's a lot deeper than just the like one chapter that was in his autobiography. It's a little over an hour of like just him detailing in the whole journey and the whole process and everything he had to go through to deal with it, the changes he had to make to his life, and how he got back to, being all in shape and all that good stuff. And if you want to check it out, I'm going to put links in the show notes to it's not available on Audible or anything like that. He's kind of doing it independently. It's available through his merch website, which there will be a link in the show notes to go to that directly to the audiobook part. Or you can peruse that and buy a bunch of shirts. If you like my attitude and my sense of humor, you'd probably like most of his shirts. You've seen them. I've worn them on the live streams before. Bring back bullying, offend everyone. Just stuff like that, on leg day, we do chest, stuff like that. It's funny to me. I appreciate it. If you guys appreciate that sort of stuff, buy some shirts, show the homie some love. They got, beanies and sweatbands and shirts and books, and you can get the books on Amazon too, but if you buy them from the website, he'll autograph them for you, and it's the same price. So, hey, there you go. And if you tell him Aaron sent you, you'll get precisely nothing, because this isn't anything he asked me to do or nothing like that. It was just like it's the audiobook's like $9. It's nothing, it's not super pricey. It's $9.99. So $10. It's one fucking foo-foo coffee from Starbucks. And if you know anybody that's going through that kind of shit, I think it's a pretty decent resource. I mean, it lets them know they're not alone. It lets them know what they got to look forward to. Lets them know you can recover from that kind of shit. So anyway, like I said, I downloaded it. I thought it was worth the listen, and it was significant enough where I felt the need to tell you guys about it, so my tens of listeners can possibly, if they want to, go out and purchase it. Or if not, I mean, hell, it's your life, it's your money. If it's not something that interests you, it's not somebody you give a shit about, whatever. You think the guy's a big Neanderthal or whatever. Like I said, I personally think he's a good dude. I've spoken to him in person, more than once. He's like a lot of my internet friends, somebody I've never met in person, but if I did, I'd give him a hug and buy him a cocktail. So, and that's neither here nor there. Anyway, so that is kind of all the maintenance, housekeeping, yada, yada, bullshit. Again, I apologize if the sound's real echoey. I don't know what I sound like right now, because, again, there's no sound treatments up in here right now. I'm going to be staining them so they kind of fit with the new color scheme, and also because they look gross. They're white, and they've been in here for 5 years. They're dusty as shit, and even I tried vacuuming them, I tried dusting them, I tried doing everything I could to them. They still look dusty, particularly the one where, if you look at any of my social media posts of the war room area, you can see like a disaster on one of those things. It's because the ventilation actually screwed up here at one point and blew a bunch of dust out of the wall, because the conduit that goes, or the metal stuff, the ductwork that was on the back of it came off. So instead of blowing in clean air, it blew in dust out of the fucking wall. And yeah, so that's life in the big city. So anyway, so what do we want to talk about here? The world is a funny place. Things are still fucking just, things haven't slowed down any just because I went back to work. Things are, there's still a bunch of stupid motherfuckers in the world doing stupid motherfucker things. I'm still generally annoyed with the, my bloated, pasty, fuck muppet governor has yet again proven that he's an utter and complete idiot. They're trying to now float a proposition that would mandate that everybody in the state get a monitor installed in their vehicle to regulate their speed. GPS enabled speed regulations being forced onto every vehicle driving in the state. And it's not just Illinois, but Pritzker's kind of, rah-rah cheerleading this shit because there's no such thing as a fucking bad idea this fat fuck doesn't like. And it presents all kinds of issues in terms of, say they were to install these governors on things, it takes control of your accelerator. It removes control of the vehicle from you. So you cannot safely accelerate past the speed limit, say on an on-ramp to merge with traffic. You cannot safely accelerate to respond to other issues. You cannot actually deal with any of the fucking hazards that go along with driving because now the state has decided to control how fast you're allowed to go. And they're also going to use it to track how much mileage you're driving, how not only to regulate your speed, but to tax you for the amount of driving you're doing, which is utterly fucking retarded. It's un-American. It's a fucking horseshit thing to have happen. And I am not surprised at all that the fuck Muppet is championing that shit because he's a fucking retard and I fucking hate him. So anyway, let's see. Steve just mentioned in the chat, Southern Poverty Law Center was indicted and a little bit ago. That is phenomenal. Southern Poverty Law Center is a fucking just shithole of an institution. It's done nothing but set race relations back and fucking stump and take advantage of this country and fuel the retards on the fucking left for decades. And I hope every last one of them winds up in the fucking jail. I don't know enough about the details on it, but that's my general thoughts. Southern Poverty Law Center can eat a giant bag of Richards. And let's see, other things I would say is, oh yeah, a little footnote. The Boomer Bunker debuted a fun new thing. Yeah, Lisa makes a good point. Yeah, they already tax you based on how much you drive via gas taxes, which the state of Illinois, again, no shortage on those either. We love our gas taxes here in Illinois because J.B. Pritzker never met a tax he wasn't in a fucking rush to sign. And rather than be responsible with the already bloated tax budget income they have, they're still operating at a $56 billion deficit because the state of Illinois is run by absolute fucking retards, elected by absolute fucking retards, corpses, and illegals. It's a wonderful fucking state to be stuck in right now. I am so excited that he will run for president and try and do that to the rest of the world if he gets a chance. Fucking sack of shit. But I digress. Let's see. Now, there was something else I was going to talk about as well, and I don't remember what it was now because I am a yutz. Again, I apologize for not being better organized for my triumphant return to the airwaves. Howsoever, I've been very off kilter between work and work. I mean, that's really all I've been doing. Like I said, Shauna did all the hard work on this for painting the room, and I just hung it to the shelves, and all the other stuff I've been doing is working and trying to get things set back up. So, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, the seal of approval. That's where I was going with that. Thank you, Duchess. Yeah, so John debuted the Aaron seal of approval, which was a lovely little graphic he made to go with a soundbite that producer Mike snatched out of one of my episodes where I was making a seal noise because the leftist retards clap like seals when they are prompted in fucking anytime their fucking leadership says anything. Yay, we're here. Let's see. Oh, Lisa says needs more doilies. Funny you should say that. We recently had an issue with a bunch of doilies. No joke. Just that actually happened. We sent a bunch of stuff down after family passing. We're distributing some family things to family members. One of which happened to be a box of hand crocheted doilies that UPS just fucking lost. They swore they were delivered. They're like, oh, well, we can compensate you for them because you lost the package. It's like, how do you compensate for something that was handmade by somebody that's dead and can never actually be replaced? You really can't. It's a shitty situation. And UPS just sucks. Let's see. Kate says she updated the graphic. Oh, yeah. And I love the fact that just gets so much joy from my seal noises. And then John created a graphic to go with it that looks like a thumb with a fucking mustache. And now Duchess has upgraded the graphic, so I can't wait to see what the new one looks like. So that I have something to look forward to on the next episode of Boomer Bunker. Apparently, yay! Let's see. I really am losing my freaking mind here. I apologize, people. I should have been better organized for a coming back episode, but it is what it is. You get what you get. I wanted to say something. I wanted to show up and give you guys something because I said I'd be back, and I meant to be back. And I'm a man of my word. I may not be much else, but I always keep my promises. And that will be a case of, yeah, so here I sits. again, the room looks lovely. My blushing bride did a phenomenal job. I keep coming back to that. I'm really stoked with how this looks. And once it's actually finished being set up, like I very much rushed to get the computer back in place so I could do this live stream tonight. But at the end of the day, it's going to be so much fucking better. It really is. It's going to be phenomenal. And I still have to work on getting the cameras shifted around and stuff too a little bit. Because I notice I keep looking over here because that's where the chat is, but the camera's over here. So I'm not actually looking into the camera and talking to you guys. I'm looking over here and you're getting a lovely picture of the side of my head instead of a straight on at my glorious stash. So, let's see what else. There's a bunch of other stuff going on that may be relevant to anybody who likes to listen to me bitch about things, including what's her name, Steinberger, the governor of Virginia. They're signing a bunch of stuff with. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate the prompts, brother. There are, and those are both good ones. Actually, I'm gonna comment on those because I didn't really get to comment during the chat during your guys' show because I fallen asleep. But yeah, Abigail Spanberger, the Virginia governor, did something extremely fucking stupid this past week, and the fact that the fucking retards on the left are lauding her for this dumb shit, which is literally stripping of their rights to be involved in the process of electing the president. And it's a very short-sighted move on their part because they're doing it with this idea that they're going to win the popular vote in the next presidential election, because this dumb cunt signed a fucking bill into law saying, and it's going to be overturned by the Supreme Court. It has to be overturned by the Supreme Court. There's no fucking way she can do this because she's literally stripping the right to have representation by their people, by their votes from the people. They said Virginia's votes will go to the winner of the popular election. Doesn't matter who wins the fucking state. It's whoever wins the popular vote is going to get their electoral votes. That's so fucking blatantly unconstitutional. The fact that these dumb cunts not only sign it into law, but then clap for it, and they're acting like they're doing some sort of fucking good, just tells you how far off the reservation some of these fucking idiots are. And I hate her, and I hope bad things happen to her. I hope she gets a fucking hangnail. I hope she stubs her fucking baby toe. I hope that she falls down a flight of fucking stairs. So, I mean, again, these shit stains aren't even trying to hide how utterly un-American their fucking belief structure is at this point. They're leaning into it, and people just glow along with it blindly because they're either apathetic enough, lazy enough, or fucking stupid enough to be fine with it, and it's infuriating in a lot of ways. Unfortunately, I'm very tired and I don't have the energy to be getting properly riled up right now. So it's going to be a very reserved, quiet kind of rant, I guess. But yeah, so that was something that I saw as I was perusing the news feeds. A lot of my time this last week has unfortunately been dedicated to getting things up to speed with what I need to do for my day job. I've been trying to get the case of all the stuff I have to do for work that I still haven't been able to get done for work for various reasons, not the least of which being that I'm back into dealing in a corporate setting with a global corporation. So, efficiency and speed are not necessarily hallmarks of dealing with things like that. I've been waiting for days on IT to, like, I need a company computer to do a lot of things because they have all kinds of security in place to do these things. And it's all, proprietary and identified, and there's hardware, security in there. So you can only access certain things with a company, hard-coded laptop and blah, blah, blah. So I can't do my job until my equipment shows up. It's really frustrating in a lot of ways. But there's still stuff I can do that I've been working on in the background. And as a salaried manager, sometimes you're working when you're not at work, and that's just the way it works. So, yeah, so honestly, I'm not real well loaded for this episode, but thankfully I got my chat to sit here and give me ideas to be pissy about. And so another one that Steve brought up, and part of me feels like, okay, well, now you're just working off a Razor Wire's show, but now you're getting Aaron's take on Razor Wire's topics, so they're valid topics there all week. So we're gonna go with Trump Jesus. There was a picture released last week, and unless you're living under a rock, I'm sure you've seen it, whether it was on the news, if you're more of a mainstream media person, or if it was on the internet, if you're like all the rest of us who are probably listening to this, because I really doubt I have a lot of old people who listen to mainstream media on a regular basis, listening to my little podcast. But yeah, so Trump Truth Day. That's on Truth Social, his little platform that he owns, and it's everybody cupping the golden balls and saying a little to the left, a little to the right. How you doing? Smack me harder, daddy. These motherfuckers, they make the seal noise too. I'm not doing it. It's already a meme. I've made it to internet famous. I've become a meme. It's a little meme. It doesn't have a lot of traction yet, but who knows where it's going to fucking go now that there's graphics attached to it. But anyway, yeah, so Golden Jesus comes out. He shares a tweet, whatever. It gets reposted on X and everywhere. And people are just absolutely losing their fucking mind because it's basically Trump is Jesus and, curing the sick. It looks like the kind of painting an old Italian grandma would have had over her fucking couch in the 90s, with blonde hair, blue-eyed baby Jesus with a 720 credit score and fucking, a wife and 3 happy kids because, that's the way that, Jesus is portrayed in a lot of ways, despite the fact that he grew up in the fucking Middle East. But, there is always the conversation that he could have been of Roman, even though he's, Jewish, yada, yada, yada. But there are people saying, well, he would be more influenced by the Romanic empire in place at the time and blah, blah, blah. And doesn't mean he's going to be blonde hair, blue eyed. Get over it. White people, Jesus was not a cracker. But I digress. The point is, so Trump puts out this poster, tweets, and then, when he immediately starts getting attacked about it because, oh my God, that's blasphemous. That's sacrilege. And it's really funny to me to see mainstream media on the left ever trying to say anything about blasphemy or sacrilege because that's not their jam. That's not their fucking genre. That's not their fucking go-to. All these fucking clowns are, oh my God, he's trying to say he's Jesus. And then it's like, motherfucker, you believe that you have a right to kill unborn babies in the womb. You believe that, religion is domination and control and white supremacy and patriarchy and whatever other stupid thing you feel like attaching to it. You believe there is no God. You believe you're some nihilist sack of shit. Whatever the case may be, you don't get to all of a sudden start crying about the blasphemy of Trump posting a painting that somebody AI generated of him as Jesus. And then, but I mean, Trump's response to it was utterly Trumpian. It was, oh no, that's supposed to be me as a doctor and the red's to represent the Red Cross. Like, okay, whatever, Don, lean into it, do whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter. You've got these fucking morons like, oh my God, 25th Amendment, he's invoking it. He's trying to say that that's not Jesus, that's a doctor. Well, Jesus is the ultimate doctor. Pray really hard and see how your cancer fucking responds. But at the end of the day, the how doesn't really fucking matter. The why doesn't fucking matter. I think it's dumb, but whatever. He's a fucking egomaniacal, twat waffle. And anybody that tries to deny that simple fucking fact drank the fucking, the red Kool-Aid instead of the fucking blue. He's not above reproach. He's not divine. He's not... but on the other hand, then we get the copium out of the hardcore right-wingers that are, well, he's just portraying himself following Jesus's commandments and going forth and helping the sick and helping the shit upon and living a godly life. That's all he was trying to say. And it's like, who gives up? I mean, just be like, yeah, it was in bad taste, or it was a little narcissistic to try and equate yourself to fucking Jesus, Orange Jesus. I mean, we got fucking Timu Obama, we got Orange Jesus next to regular Jesus, we've got, the fucking 0-calorie version of Jesus. Okay, great. Donnie Boy's a fucking egomaniacal, person. He always has been. He always will be. It's not a case of, anybody that's acting surprised by this shit is just fucking retarded. I mean, I really don't know what else I can say. If you didn't see this fucking degree of narcissism coming, and then his just like, no, hang on a second, that's not what it is at all. It's something else. It's a case, you dumb. That's all there is to it. You dumb. So yeah, so Orange Jesus fucked up, did something in poor taste, wound up getting in a fucking argument with the Pope because of it. And then you automatically have a bunch of you have liberals fucking agreeing with and cheering on the fucking papacy. Now, granted, I don't have an iota of fucking respect for the current Pope. I don't have an iota of respect for the fucking Catholic Church in general. They hoard a bunch of information. They think the general population doesn't deserve to know, doesn't deserve to see, or it's some sort of way, shape, or form a threat to their power structure and the fucking, the security of their maintenance over their faith or whatever the fucking case may be. But the Vatican archives are something you will never, ever get to fucking see, and God only knows what's in that fucking place. And again, it's an institution that has perpetrated decades and generations of fucking child abuse and fucking sexual assault and covered it up and shuffled and made excuses. So I don't give a good goddamn what the fucking Pope has to say about Trump posting a fucking meme. I really don't. But you have all these liberal retards jumping at the opportunity to defend the Pope, who's really not much of a Pope at all. If I were a more conventionally religious individual, I would consider this Pope potentially one of those signs in Revelation where you get a false prophet, a false leader of the church who is actually a servant of the beast, because a lot of he's a fucking leftist. There is no two ways about it. There's no spin on it. You can put this motherfucker is like, oh, well, we need to find peace with Islam, and he's making up Bible verses to fucking validate the fucking Islamic regime, and he's an utter piece of shit. He doesn't live according to the tenets of the Catholic faith, other than maybe the whole, well, we should be anti-violence and anti-war, and we should, maybe he's okay with taking care of the sick and the fucked upon. I can't say for certain because I don't really know. I haven't seen him do anything that impresses me. I've seen him be a pious asshole, and I got a lot of people here that are like, oh, well, he's an American Pope, and he's from Illinois, and he's from Chicago. Yeah, he's a fucking leftist retard. I don't know how else to say it. You can't claim to be a person who's living Catholic values while you're saying that abortion's not that big a deal. Those two things are, diametrically opposed. They are, and I've made my stance on that particular subject clear in the past too. I believe that's between you and whatever higher power exists. That I don't agree with it personally, but I don't care how other people live their fucking lives. I think it's a really shitty thing to do, to end a life and snuff out potential before it has a chance to take seed and blossom. But on the other hand, there are circumstances where it makes sense, in the case of rape, in the case of incest, in the case of fucking, sexual assault, or where the kid's going to be coming out a fucking turnip with one eye, 3 teeth, and a fucking ear in the middle of its forehead. Yeah, I get that. You don't need somebody to come into the existence purely to suffer and then die. Howsoever, all these fucking slags out there using it as birth control, you're horrible fucking people. When the only reason behind you deciding not to have your kid is, I just don't feel like it, you're a shitty human being, or I don't want to be inconvenienced. You know what? As I get older, I find myself taking a more hard and fast stand on this particular subject. And again, I'm not telling anybody else how to live their lives or what to do with their body, but from a personal standpoint, I feel like if you can't deal with the potential consequences of fucking, you probably shouldn't be doing it. If you can't be bothered to buy contraception, but you can schedule an abortion because you got knocked up by some random dude in the club because you were fucking careless, I mean, it's your right to do it. I don't respect you. I'm not going to pretend like I do at this point. I mean, yes, shitty things happen all the time. There are millions of people out there who want a kid that can't get pregnant. There are people trying every fucking day. There are people that are out there doing, bankrupting themselves on the hope that they might be able to get pregnant, that would love to be in your shoes. And you're treating this potential life like it's just an inconvenience to your fucking partying or your fucking lifestyle or whatever the case may be. If that's your only justification, I mean, like I said, it's your right to do it, but I don't respect you at that point. You're a shitty human being. So, wow, I didn't really expect to go off on that tangent at fucking all, but but here we are. And yeah, now wow, I'm actually really kind of gassed after that, and I still don't know if the chat's working or not. If just nobody's got anything to say, or if I'm actually boring you guys with this particular tirade. But it tis what it is. Let's see. Now there's a couple other things that have been going on recently here. We had a Chinese national that called in a bomb threat to a military base on the east or on the west coast, and then yeah, okay, I see it, Shauna, thanks. And then so that happened. The guy wound up getting caught because his mother. It exposed his mother, who was in the country illegally because she overstayed her visa, and it raised some really interesting questions about birthright citizenship because of someone else getting interested in it because of this particular case of a Chinese national planning a bomb, who are actually dual citizen. It was an American citizen who also had Chinese citizenship. He's on his way to China, and then his sister wound up, I guess, getting arrested because she came back or something like that. I mean, I lost the narrative a little bit. So, but it did raise an interesting thing. And the guy who I saw the clip from who went into a whole thing about it. He did a deep dive and found out there's actually since Obama lifted the prohibition on having a tourist visa last more than 7 days. Obama lifted the prohibition and changed it to 45 days for a tourist visa. And apparently there's become a case of like birthing tourism coming out of China where they can all go to Guam. And since they're going to Guam, having their kids there, and then those kids are born in a U.S. territory, so they have U.S. citizenship with the current interpretation of birthright citizenship, which is a massive issue when you think about these people that have dual nationality. The kids are born there, have their American paperwork, and then go back and they're raised in China to be sent to America. They can then enlist in the military. They can do all the things that American citizens can do. And then all of a sudden you have sleeper agents in the country. And it really wouldn't be that big of a deal if it wasn't for the fact that since the change of that format by President Obama when he was in office, Guam has had over 1.5 million births in the time since that change has been made to Chinese nationals who were there on vacation when they gave birth, and their citizens are being granted, or their children are being granted birthright citizenship because they were born in an American territory. If you don't see a problem with that, explaining to you why this country is going to shit is an utterly futile task. You are an idiot if you don't see this as a problem. And it's deliberate. Yeah, and yes, they can run for office. They can fully infiltrate the system and become a massive fucking problem. I mean, it's literally the Manchurian candidate without having to reprogram somebody that was born here. It's a fully conditioned and coached, counseled, card-carrying fucking commie that's also an American citizen. Now, I'm not saying we don't have our fair share of card-carrying commies in this fucking state. Colleges are churning them out every fucking year. There's no shortage of retards who keep, blue no matter who, and all these other fucking clowns where as their quality of life deteriorates, they still find some way to blame it on the conservatives who won't just completely get on board with all their fucking insanity, because if everybody got on board with their insanity, then it would be a better world. It's like the same fucking fiscally illiterate retards who sit there and say, well, if Elon Musk gave away he could give everybody in the country $1 million and he'd still have money left to spare. And this is not only a case of fiscal illiteracy, but also a case of simple retardation and an indictment of the modern education system, because people will say this shit. And I saw some fucking blue-haired fucking land whale retard post something like this, and it was reposted thousands of fucking times, like 15 or 20,000 reposts on this fucking statement from this fucking bloated, pasty land whale sack of shit, fiscally illiterate, mathematically retarded bitch who said Elon Musk, because he's almost a trillionaire, he could give every American citizen $1 million. No, you dumb bitch, he can't. And we're going to delve into that a little bit because it annoyed me, and I feel the need to lecture some cunt who will never hear me say this shit, but, whatever, fuck it. Land whale's going to do what a land whale's going to do, and I'm going to fucking say something ignorant in return, because I don't care if you're going to be stupid, but you don't have to be loud about it. And the thing that really was disheartening to me was the number of motherfuckers who were retweeting, and I'm sure some of them were tweeting it in a case of, oh, well, this is funny. Look at what this dumb broad said. But I'm sure a whole lot of people were like, yes, preach. Billionaires are the problems. Elon's a fucking issue. He doesn't deserve everything he has. Oh my God, he's so selfish for not curing world hunger, or any of the other stupid shit these fucking morons say. They never say it when somebody that they like is doing something. They never say, well, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are spending $100,000 a week on each other since they've been together. And this is a statistical fact. This is something that's been proven. The amount of money they've spent since they've started their relationship is literally in the millions of dollars, but nobody's saying that they're wasting their money on all their fucking little private flights around the world and their fucking fancy dinners and all the other horseshit those two fucking twat waffles are involved in, because they're on their side. They don't dare call out fucking other liberal retards who waste money on extravagancies. But when Elon does it, he's the bad guy because he believes in free speech and advancing common sense. So anyway, but this fiscally illiterate retard that says Elon Musk should give every American in the country $1 million and then he'd still have plenty of money left to be rich with, beyond basic fucking math, where no, he wouldn't be able to give every American in the country $1 million. Somebody actually did the math, and if he liquidated his entire net worth and did not destroy himself in the process, and he gave away everything he had, every American in the country would get something like $10,000. Which, I mean, that's nothing to blow your nose at. If you're poor, that's a huge boon. If you're Like me, I've got if somebody handed me $10,000, I'd pay off a good chunk of my debt. That's pretty much all. I'd still be in debt. That wouldn't even get me out of the hole, but it would be a lot of progress, and it would be a blessing. But I'm not stupid enough to sit there and go, he's got it and I don't, and I deserve it. Secondarily, it's these fucking retards. I swear to God, I'm convinced these fucking dolts think that when someone above a certain tier has, oh, well, his net worth is X amount of dollars. I'm 100% convinced these retards think he's got that in a checking account because they've never had more than 2 nickels to rub together of their fucking own that they actually earned. So they think everybody's net worth is determined by what they have in their fucking checking account. I am completely convinced that's how these retards' minds work. They are absolute fucking idiots. And they support each other and they amplify each other and they boost each other, and the stupidity spreads and it's viral and it's infectious, and dumb motherfuckers say dumb shit, and then they get other dumb motherfuckers to boost the signal, and the dumb spreads and the dumb infects people, and then you get these fucking people with no critical thinking capabilities who are fucking retarded, convinced all of a sudden that they're fucking right because there's a whole lot of other yammering fucking retards out there that will go out and say, you know what, yeah, I saw this and you're right, that's really wrong. They should be out here doing X, Y, and Z. And I saw it on the internet, and since it's something I want to believe, it's got to be true. It's not that I had the 0.3 of a fucking second to stop and think and just do basic fucking math, or even say to myself, you know what? I bet it's not his net worth is X amount of dollars, so he's got that just fucking chilling in his couch. He's got a fucking couch stuffed with $1 million bills that he likes to fuck whatever random broad he's chasing this week to knock up on. Because yeah, Elon's really good about adding to the population, but he can afford to, so so be it. But I digress. The point is, the vast majority of Elon's actual net worth is tied up in stock shares and ownership of properties and companies and concepts and ideas and revenue. And if he starts trying to liquidate his things so he can start giving handouts to fucking purple-haired baristas that aren't worth a fucking fart in a high wind, that's going to cause a panic and a rush on everything he's invested in. And if he starts offloading everything that he has, everybody's going to look at it and go, hey, he must know something we don't know. It's going to be a case of, oh my God, he's offloading his stock. I better offload my stock. You know what happens when everybody starts selling off a stock? It crashes. It's all of a sudden worth way fucking less. So now all of a sudden, instead of being worth $800 billion, he's now worth $400 billion because the complete value of everything he's trying to offload just tanked because some dumb cunt said, you know what, you should sell all your stuff and give it to other people, because just because you did the stuff that got you that money doesn't mean you should fucking have it. You shouldn't be greedy and selfish by trying to keep what you actually earned. You should give it to the worthless layabout fucking philosophers. All these dumb shits who think Karl Marx was a fucking genius, and not the people who actually read history and realize he was a parasitic sack of fuck who lived off of his rich friends until the day he died, and then was insistent that he was put into a cemetery that wasn't for fucking paupers that his friend paid for. The utterly fucking contemptible retards who seem to think that their simple existence is enough to warrant a happy, healthy lifestyle where they are given everything they want, regardless of their inability to actually gain that without somebody handing it to them in a case of fucking charity. When you get these goddamn mouth-breathing fucking idiots who seem to think that, working is beneath them, working is for, the plebes, working is for the people who didn't go to college and get a degree in progressive fucking underwater mandolin weaving. And yes, I know you don't weave a mandolin. I'm saying these dumb motherfuckers would actually sign up for something like that if they thought it gave them enough fucking leftist cred to be like, oh, look, you think you've got a worthless degrees with your feminine studies one? Wait until you see my master's in fucking mandolin weaving with a minor in fucking pronouns, you fucking mouth-breathing simps. I swear to God, the fact that these people exist, they're out there, they live. I try to be a tolerant person. I can forgive a lot in the world, but stupidity should fucking hurt. I really believe that. I believe there should be consequences. Everybody should have a fucking, everybody should get the Mehdi Hassan's dog treatment. Everybody should have a fucking shot collar, and I should be the only one with the goddamn button. And every time you say something inherently fucking stupid, I should get to push it really hard. And it should make a fucking auga horn noise when I do it so I can get an extra little giggle out of the process. These motherfuckers, I mean, I swear to God, we should. Ooh, started to lose it there for a little bit. At the end of the day, though, I mean, these self-important, fiscally illiterate, willfully illiterate people, because they are in a huge percentage of the time college educated. And saying education is really a disservice to the concept of actual education. It's not something that really applies. They're indoctrinated. They've been sold a bill of goods that is utterly fraudulent. They're being told that they wasted their time, their money, and their career on something that will never actually pay them, but that still somehow elevates them above the peons who are out there doing things like working for a living, learning a trade or a craft, or doing something that actually contributes to the betterment of society, or even the basic maintenance of society. These self-important fart stains all believe that they're fucking sitting around philosophizing about how great the world could be if they were just the ones handling things, despite their inability to actually provide for themselves in the most basic of life-sustaining manners. Is so frustrating to me, because it's there should be no excuse for this. I mean, other than the fact that it's a deliberately cultivated ignorance, it's the people who benefit from these fucking retards existing are the ones pushing the narrative, the ones telling them, no, your retardedry is actually a virtue. Your stupidity is something that makes you special and unique, and you're a wonderful person for being this mouth-breathing sack of fuck. And it's not that you're a failed human being. It's not that you're a fucking ejaculation that was wasted by actually fertilizing a seed. It's that the rest of the world just doesn't comprehend or appreciate your unique values in life, and everyone is special except for when they're not. That's the problem. Everybody's okay until they're fucking not. And in a lot of cases, and that's actually been in the back of my mind here just due to some other conversations I've been having, but, at work and things like that. And, in a lot of ways, it's dealing with mental health. Mental health is something that, everybody talks about, but it's actually severely under fucking valued in this country because it's not being dealt with seriously. It's prevalent. It's fucking everywhere. You cannot throw a fucking rock without hitting 3 assholes who have either a self-diagnosed or a medically diagnosed mental issue. And that fucking infuriates me, because that designifies the ones who actually have a problem, who actually need help, the people who need to get their medications to maintain their balance, to be functional members of society, because you have every other fucking bland milquetoast motherfucker out there who doesn't have a personality, so tries to make up with it by being quirky and having all these issues. And a lot of them are made up bullshit, trying to add some sort of depth or meaning to a character that is utterly lacking in that. And it's very, very irritating to me when you get these fucking clowns out there, and you'll get all these cliche trite, and you have somebody having a genuine crisis or a genuine problem or a genuine thing they need to work through, and an actual fucking person having an actual fucking problem, and then you get these fucking clowns who just, that's what's wrong with you. Oh well, I'm a bipolar, non-binary Wiccan who identifies as a fucking cheese witch. And I totally understand what you're going through right now, because the other day they put caramel foam, not fucking sea salt foam, in my latte, and I was so depressed. I just was ready to end it all. Meanwhile, you're talking to somebody who's got fucking actual PTSD from genuine trauma, that's fucking struggling to stay alive, to cope and maintain and hold their balance in place. And you want to talk about how you fucking, had a hangnail and it fucked up your fucking nail polish, you fucking sanctimonious twat. And I hate that shit. I hate so much about that. I hate how it detracts from people with legitimate concerns and issues and problems. I hate how it trivializes so much shit in so many people's eyes. I hate the fact that people that have real problems are afraid to come forward with their problems because they're worried that the world's not going to take them seriously because of all these fucking insignificant retards out there with made up fucking problems that are taking all the fucking, seriousness out of the issue. People who, they want their mental health. They wear their fucking made up diagnoses like badges of fucking honor. It's right up there with the I'm more pious and I'm more victimized than you are that goes into so many people these days. It's I have more fucking problems than you. Somehow that makes me more special. That makes me more important. That makes me more worthy of attention and adoration, because look at me out here bravely dealing with these things as I walk around not having a job, not contributing to society, screaming victim and speaking on behalf of other people who never asked me for my fucking opinion. But I'm going to tell them how shit upon and how oppressed they are and how lucky they are that I'm able to bravely march through my fucking struggles to make sure that they are represented by good, God-fearing middle-class white cunts who went to college and dyed their hair purple, jammed a fucking bull ring through their fucking nose, and decided that they were going to be speaking on behalf of those poor fucked upon people. And I hate the fact that these motherfuckers exist to the degree where actual people who legitimately care, they're not doing it in a performative manner. They're not doing it in a manner that screams, look at how special I am for caring about these fucked upon people. The people who actually care for fucked over people really don't get enough credit in today's day and age, because there are people out there that are genuinely trying to do the right thing. People that are genuinely concerned for actual shit going wrong in this world. And a lot of them can't stand these performative motherfuckers. A lot of people I know that were, more political activist type people by today's standards back in the day, that oddly enough, somehow we all managed to, apparently we're all right-wing fucking assholes now, according to the modern youth and the modern fucking pick-me liberal retards. Like, I'm more shit upon than you. I'm more victim than you. I'm more special than you because I understand these shit upon people, because from my position of a education my parents paid for and a job that wouldn't sustain a fucking family of 0.5, that I somehow managed to fucking bitch about my situation, have a fucking $1,000 cell phone, have a fucking money to spend to keep my hair colors God never fucking intended, spend the weekends going out making a scene and staging protests for shit I don't actually fucking understand. People that will go out there and talk about how oppressed and how shit upon they are and how unfair it is that millionaires exist when fucking poor little special unique souls like themselves have to actually go out and contribute if they expect to survive. And that's so fucking unfair because they can't focus on their uniqueness, their specialness, their self-expression, and their value and worth that is inherent because they exist, and the rest of the world is just a selfish bunch of motherfuckers for not acknowledging that uniqueness and that specialness and that depth of lack of character that they all exhibit. And it's just so unfair and so wrong that these motherfuckers have to deal with these selfish bastards who work for what they have and want to somehow keep it. Wow, that was a really long-winded way to get around to the back to where I started with the I hate communism. Because invariably these leftist retards are always all about the collective, all about, because they think they are going to be, they all secretly see themselves as Stalin. They see themselves as first among equals. They all think that they are going to be leading the pack as they fucking get to live on their farm, which they don't understand is not a concept that their ideology actually allows. And they're going to teach underwater basket weaving to blind, deaf, mute fucking paraplegics from the third world on their farm when their communist utopia is initiated, not realizing they're literally the definition of the useful idiots that every fucking communist dictator who cost millions of lives throughout their tenures talk about when they talk about the dumb shits that will be used to overthrow capitalist societies to put these fucking just tyrannical states in place. They're all morons. Every last fucking one of them. Morons with fucking degrees, morons that dropped out, morons that drank the fucking Kool-Aid and somehow think they're better than you because you're a peon who went out and got a trade and got a career and did something with your life, and you just obviously you're the problem. But the thing is, none of these assholes possess the self-awareness to realize they can't exist without the people they leech off of. Producers support parasites, not the other fucking way around. They don't see themselves as parasites. They see themselves as more evolved, more advanced, more realistic, more betterer because their teachers told them so. If they learn all these fucking useless catchphrases and ideologies, they are somehow better than the people who actually create the society that allows them to exist in this sanctimonious, self-righteous, fart-sniffing fucking existence that they have. Every last one of these fucking people is a delusional sack of cunt that I really believe should be subjected to involuntary electroshock therapy every time they open their mouths until they realize saying stupid shit hurts. It's not very nice of me. I guess not very kind, not very forgiving, not very Christ-like. I guess I won't be posting any memes of myself this week as Jesus healing the sick with John Domingo hanging out in the background, because we all know Johnny and Donnie are really close. That's another fun thing. If you haven't looked at it, you need to go out and find that picture of Trump as Jesus. There's a motherfucker in the corner over there. Looks just like John Domingo, and you should make a point of reaching out to him and asking him how he got himself in that picture, because it's phenomenal that he managed to work his love-hate relationship with Donnie T into being captured forever in meme format. Because I'm not the only one that's part of a meme now, John. Welcome to my world of inequity. You get a seal of approval for that. I'm not going to make the noise. Push the button, Mike. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I need to have a recipe for you guys today, huh? Yeah, so today I'm going to teach you guys how to make artisan water. That's right. here's what you do. You're going to go to the gas station. You're going to get a 25-pound bag of ice. You're going to take that 25-pound bag of ice. You're going to put it in a container, and you're going to put it on the stove, and you're going to bring it to a rolling boil. There you go. You've made artisanal craft water. Yeah, that's really disappointing, actually. I'm really sorry, guys. I forgot the recipe. I suck. I should be flogged publicly. I am going to just have to admit the fact that I screwed up today. I'm sorry. You deserve better. You're not going to get it, but you deserve it. You guys are special. I appreciate everything about you. I really do. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for your patience in these trying times as I try to adjust to the situation I am in with lifing. And, unfortunately, I'm not independently wealthy. The show doesn't pay the bills, and my mom keeps not winning the Powerball for some fucking reason. So as long as I still got to pay the bills and keep the lights on and all that good stuff, I still got to go to work. So things got to get adjusted accordingly. And I appreciate you guys having patience with me as we try to get through this and I get back into a routine that will actually work for the show so I can give you guys the mediocrity you've come to expect from me. And I'm going to throw it over to the chat, even though the chat is pretty much the only reason we have a show today, because I failed you. I should go commit seppuku. I'm not gonna, but I probably should. And yeah, it's I'll give you guys a minute to, if there's anything else you want me to yammer about, and otherwise I think I'm probably just going to put a pin in it. Oh yeah, I should be playing a sound bite, but I still only have the same fucking 3, so I'm actually going to take this opportunity while I wait for it to see if there's anything else coming through on the chat to say, if you have a podcast, send me a fucking promo. All I have is a Boomer Bunker and the Weather Report, and I think that's it. And Misanthrope Radio. I don't know how I forgot that. I love the Misanthrope Radio. You know what? I'm going to play it right now. Lorenzo's most recent episode was great. Everybody should go listen to it. I literally was drinking some water during the show, and I have to say that was probably a mistake. I'm not saying listening to the show was a mistake. Listening to the show was probably one of the best decisions I made this week. Drinking while listening to Lorenzo you take the risk. There's a chance you're going to fuck something up if you have a mouthful while you're listening to that show, because I literally spit some of my expensive, fancy, bougie-ass water out all over the wall. And no, I don't have fancy, expensive, bougie-ass water money. I just told you guys how to make fancy, expensive, bougie-ass water. So get to it, guys. And I'm going to play the Misanthrope Radio spot because I feel like it. So, yeah.
Hi, I'm Lorenzo. I host a podcast. It's called Misanthrope Radio. Look for Misanthrope Radio wherever you get your podcasts, and you will probably hear something like this. Don't fucking call me a dirty Jew. All it's gonna cost you is your fucking panties. I fucking hate him. I fucking hate Corky.
Well, then I held her head underwater, and we took turns kicking her in the tits.
Julian intently fisting that tiger's ass.
Discipline your fucking kid! Stop fucking churning out of the fucking society!
Yeah, bitch, you crying, bitch. Bitch, soft ass bitch.
Die! Die by the dead! Oh, Sonny, you're so nice to help an old lady out!
Misanthrope Radio. MISANTHROPE. Radio. You illiterate fuck.
All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. Yeah, and by the way, just one last little thing. I would like to just also remind everyone, go to clockumcraft.coffee. That's COLOCKUMCRAFT.COFFEE, and get some of the finest batch roasted coffee on the market. It's happiness in a cup. Bill and Dana will take time to lovingly select each of your beans, roast them to perfection, and send them to you. You get them within, they get shipped really fast. You get these fresh roasted coffee. It is seriously some of the best bean juice you're going to get your fucking hands on. I don't know how else to say it. So go to clockumcraft.coffee and order you some bean juice today. Like I said, as soon as I get a paycheck to hit the bank account, I'm buying some because I is out and I need smo. That being said, go to IHadToSayItPodcast.com, click the links, do the things, check out the recipe page, do all the things, be happy. Ooh, I I've not gotten the habit of having my Discord open during this. I know I did say a couple weeks ago that I was going to actually probably start stealing John Domingo's idea of having the Discord open during the recording, which is not a bad idea because a lot of fun goes on with Boomer Bunker's Discord. So if you're not a member of the Bunker Dwellers Union, if you're not in the Boomer Bunker Discord, you should totally go do that, by the way, because during the live show, in real time, people will be uploading AI art based on the shit that comes out of John's mouth or something Kate says that's funny, and it's always good shit. And I actually got some AI art in my Discord that I just saw out of the corner of my eye that was uploaded by Lisa. That is the Trump picture with a much better looking central figure on there. Doesn't look accurate, but I appreciate the effort, Lisa. Phenomenal job. So if you want to know what I'm talking about, you can go check it out, and that's definitely John Domingo in the fucking corner on the left-hand side. There's no doubt in my mind at this point. So, yeah, that being said, like I said, go to boomerbunker.com/Discord, join the Discord there. You can find Discord links to not only that, but to Nerd Chronicles Bake Lore and to the Weather Report /Road Rage 101. And you can interact with all the friends of the show that I talk to on a regular basis. Go to Razorwire. Razorwire Substack. I'll put the links in the show notes because I can't remember Substack addresses properly. I suck. Anyway, yeah, friends of the show, go support them. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Like I said, we're getting back to where we need to be. Like I said, I'll get the soundproofing up. I hope this isn't too echoey. I also got to get the mats back on the floor because I did notice that made a difference when I started putting the foam mats down behind my chair for breaking up the echo points behind me. So yeah, I guess for now I'm going to say that's what I had to say.